In most courtrooms, a ticket is nothing more than a fine, a slip of paper, a record of wrongdoing, and a reminder of the system's authority. For many, it represents punishment, frustration, or financial burden. But in Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom, a ticket is sometimes transformed into something far greater. In his hands, what begins as a penalty can become a lesson, a source of encouragement, even a symbol of hope. This chapter explores how Judge Caprio's approach turns the ordinary into the extraordinary, and how a simple ticket can change the story of someone's life. Picture a busy morning in Providence. People file into the courtroom, holding crumpled tickets for parking violations or minor infractions. Some carry with them not just paper slips, but heavy hearts. For the single mother struggling to pay rent, for the elderly man living on a fixed income, for the young student trying to balance work and education, a fine of even $50 feels like a mountain. Judge Caprio understands this reality. He knows that behind every ticket is not only a car parked at the wrong meter, but a person, a family, and a story. And so instead of seeing a ticket as just a financial penalty, he sees it as a window into a life. With kindness in his voice, he asks questions. Why were you parked there? What was happening in your life that day? What challenges are you facing right now? The answers are rarely simple. Often they reveal struggles hidden beneath the surface, medical emergencies, financial crises, or the simple human mistakes that come with the pressures of everyday life. There was once an elderly man who stood before Judge Caprio, ticket in hand, trembling with worry. His fixed income barely covered his medication and utilities, and now he faced a fine he could not pay. Most judges might have seen only the violation, but Judge Caprio saw the man himself, tired, honest, struggling, but dignified. With a warm smile, he leaned forward and said, "I'm not here to punish you for being human. You're doing your best, and that matters." He reduced the fine to nothing. The man's eyes filled with tears. He left not only relieved of a financial burden, but uplifted in spirit. That ticket, once a symbol of punishment, had become a symbol of care, a reminder that justice can heal instead of harm. On another day, a young mother came to court with her children in tow. Her car had been ticketed multiple times, and the fines had piled up beyond what she could pay. She was overwhelmed, ashamed, and fearful of what might happen. Judge Caprio looked not only at her tickets, but at her children, their wide eyes, their uncertain faces. He knew that whatever decision he made would not only affect her, but shape the environment in which those children were growing up. Instead of punishment, he offered hope. He forgave part of the fine, set up a manageable payment plan, and told her, "You're not alone in this. Keep doing your best for your children. That's what really matters." In that moment, the courtroom transformed. For the mother, the ticket became not a sentence, but a source of strength. For the children, it became a memory that authority can also mean kindness, and that society has space for compassion. Every time Judge Caprio transforms a ticket into hope, a ripple begins. That elderly man leaves encouraged and shares his story with neighbors, who find renewed faith in humanity. That young mother tells her children, who grow up understanding that compassion is as important as rules. That struggling student pays his reduced fine and uses the money saved to buy textbooks, fueling his education. These ripples extend outward, touching communities in ways unseen. What began as a ticket of punishment becomes a spark of kindness, a reminder that justice is not blind to struggle, and that mercy has the power to uplift entire lives. At its core, Judge Caprio's philosophy is simple yet profound. A ticket is never just a piece of paper. It is an opportunity to understand, to uplift, and to change the course of someone's day, week, or even life. By treating tickets as moments for compassion rather than punishment, he reframes justice itself. He shows us that rules exist to guide society, but mercy exists to preserve its humanity. Most of us will never sit behind the bench, wearing a robe and presiding over a courtroom. But each of us will face moments when we hold a ticket in our hands, not literally, but symbolically. A mistake someone made at work, a misunderstanding in a relationship, a failure of a friend or loved one. In those moments, we have a choice. Will we treat that mistake only as punishment? Or will we see it as an opportunity for hope, growth, and connection? Judge Caprio challenges us to choose the latter, to look beyond the error, to see the human being, and to offer hope when it is most needed. A ticket is supposed to remind us of our failures, but in Judge Caprio's courtroom, it reminds us of our humanity. It teaches us that compassion can live side by side with accountability, and that even in a system of laws, there is room for love. This is the true lesson, that justice without hope is incomplete, and that sometimes the smallest slip of paper can carry the greatest message, not of punishment, but of mercy, dignity, and the unshakable belief that every person deserves a chance to rise again.
Sometimes, a simple ticket is not just a piece of paper. For the struggling mother, the elderly man, the young student, it represents a weight too heavy to carry, a reminder of the hardships they already endure. And yet, when punishment is replaced with hope, when judgment is paired with mercy, something far greater is born. It is not about ignoring responsibility. It is about recognizing humanity. That small act of compassion has the power to ripple through someone's entire life. It can restore dignity, lift burdens, and remind us that behind every law, there's a person, and behind every person, there's a story. Judge Caprio showed us that a parking ticket can transform from a punishment into a message. You are not forgotten. You are seen. You are valued. And sometimes that is all someone needs to stand up again and try harder tomorrow. But this lesson opens the door to an even deeper truth, because life isn't just about tickets, fines, or courtroom moments. It's about mistakes. Every single one of us has stumbled, fallen short, or done something we wish we could undo. The question is, do our mistakes define us forever, or can they become stepping stones to something greater? In the next chapter, we will explore this timeless truth, why every mistake deserves a second chance. It is a story not only of forgiveness, but of transformation, a journey that shows how a single chance, given at the right moment, can change a destiny. So stay with me, because what comes next is not just a lesson from the courtroom. It's a lesson for all of us who have ever made a mistake and longed for a second chance.